to the Board of Parks and Recreation Commission meeting. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes for the board meeting on May 5th. Do I hear a motion for approval?
So moved.
Seconded.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, minutes are approved. First item, resolution number 30437, considering board approval for amendment with Kansas City Carriages. Mark?
Yes, Commissioners, Terry's going to talk a little bit about this, and of course, going to introduce Bobby and his lovely wife, who's going to talk to us about 39th and Gillum, and we're looking forward to this one. Go ahead, Terry.
You all may remember probably about 18 months ago, we came to you with the concept of housing during the daytime the carriages from the Kansas City Carriage Company and the horses. And at 39th and Gillum, our interest, and we've had a great conversation, our interest was that we could get some programming in exchange for some space that currently was just sitting vacant. Through that process, we've been a long ways around and been in the neighborhood several times, and I think we have a really good partner and are excited about the opportunity. For those of you that were attached to the old sled and loud green diesel tractor that used to pull Santa to the Wonderlands, that'll probably be horse-drawn carriage now, so it's a sled, it'll still carry 20, but that green tractor will be gone. So that's one of the things. There's going to be some fall festival programming. There will be some opportunities for our summer camps to learn a little bit about equine care and just the power of equine therapy. So we're very excited. I am very appreciative. The Hyde Park Neighborhood Association worked with us hand in hand and was very involved in the process. And the last vote they took on the last meeting I was at a couple weeks ago was 42 in favor, 0 abstained, and 2 opposed. So with that, we felt very comfortable that we had this neighborhood support we needed to move forward. Bobby and Danelle, if you guys want to say anything.
Well, we're excited.
Come on, you got to come up here.
We're really excited. This has been a long time coming, and I think through the process, Mark and Terry's office have gotten a chance to see us over the time, which I think has been really, really exciting. For us, for you guys, it's been a couple of different times that we've sat down with you and you kind of saw the vision. None of that's changed. We just marched along with the time, which is okay. And so now we're really excited. We're not in the doldrums of the wintertime. We're in the spring, headed into summer. We're flexible enough that we can fit the Parks and Rec programming to fit in where we need to for now, for the rest of the summer and the fall. And we're just really looking forward to getting the ball game kicked off. And we've been just waiting to get to here. So if you guys have any questions, we'd be glad to answer whatever we can.
Any questions?
Well, thank you guys very much for the opportunity, and we'll have you guys over, and we'll really want you to come in and feel comfortable when you drive by 39th and Gillum, because I really think it's going to be neat to see something that's repurposed back to what it was when it was originally built in the 1900s. So we'll see.
Thank you. Denise has been a big part of this.
Oh,
Our staff as well.
tremendous part. I mean, Terry, Mark, everybody, we're looking forward to working with Dave and the guys in the zone. We really, really are. We've been watching things, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Thank you
very
very
much.
much.
Thanks. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Okay. Do I hear a motion for approval?
So moved.
Seconded.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Resolution number 30438, considering board approval of amendment number 3 with Blue Bike Share KC.
Yes, Commissioners, this is indicated Amendment 3, which means we've had the first amendment and second prior to this. And bike share has been pretty successful in Kansas City since it was first launched a few years ago, and this is for 7 more locations throughout the city.
Oh, great.
The reason this is in front of you today is because there's money associated with this coming through the city through Public Works Department, and we recommend approval. And Forrest, could you share a little bit more with us about this?
Absolutely. Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Afternoon.
Yeah, as Mark said, this is the third amendment. We started this process and this relationship with Bike Share back in 2012. We've amended this twice. Once was to allow them to do a year-round operation because the original agreement was only for a seasonal. The second one was to add 6 locations, of which a couple of those were on park property. Of these 7, none of these are actually on park property. But since we're a signator to the original agreement, we have to approve or go through any amendments and everything as well. The funding is all coming from Public Works, no further financial obligation from us on this.
So how many locations are there now?
Oh, boy, I guess I should have checked that. I think there were 12, and then there were 6.
27, I believe.
So this will make it
I think
27?
there was 12, and then they added 8 that got you to 20, and I think this 7 gets you to 27. I may be off by 1 on 2.
Is there a goal to get to, or are they just?
No, they just kind of have been
letting.
letting the market drive it. So
That's great.
I've never heard an overall final number,
No,
that
I
they're
think
trying to
they
reach.
evaluate every- I will share with you, Anna Marie's had some discussions with them about getting one at the Kansas Museum.
Yes.
And then, of course, that means you may get up in the northeast area, so, you could have a couple more in that direction. They're looking for sponsors, I do know that. So most of these locations have a sponsor.
So these are really confined to Jackson County, pretty much?
At this
At
point,
this
yeah,
point?
They started downtown, and they kind of found their way to the plaza, and now they're heading south.
Right,
But they could go east, too, which would be good if they would.
certainly could, yeah.
Okay. Any other questions?
Thank
Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thanks, Forrest.
Resolution number 30439, considering board approval for acceptance of grant from the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services.
Yes, Commissioners, as indicated, is a grant award. Roosevelt's going to tell us about this one. And if you want to share the background, and we're, of course, asking for approval.
Sure. So this is, hello, how you doing? This is a grant for the Summer Feeding Services Program. It's administered by the Department of Health and Human Services. And this is to provide nutritious meals for our summer camp attendees throughout the summer. We get reimbursed for each meal, each eligible meal that we serve to our kids throughout our 10 community centers. So we've been working on this for quite some time. We went through a lot of training to administer this program. Our staff has done a lot of training, so we're really excited to have this program. It was formerly in the Neighborhood and Housing Services Department. They had a program in which we were some of their sites. This time, we're actually the sponsoring agency, which means we can take on additional sites if we choose to. Right now, we want to start off slow and do our 10 community centers and maybe another one or so, and then kind of build on that. So, yes, they're open sites, so which means that anybody can come during the feeding hours. Anybody from the community can come during the feeding hours and have a meal, as long as they meet the age requirements for this program. So, and for each of those meals that we give, we get reimbursed. So,
What
really
are the
excited.
age requirements?
They're a little different, so they have to be under 18, in general, under 18, and they have to be youth. Depending on there's some people with disabilities and things like that that can go a little higher, so up to 21, so, but for the most part, under 18.
Do we have,
What period of time is this over?
This will go throughout our whole summer, so they're sponsoring us for 10 weeks of our summer camp right now.
do we have an estimate as to how many meals we can provide with this grant funding?
So what we put into our proposal was we were doing, at each of our sites, we do a lunch and a snack. We do that 5 days a week for 10 sites. So then I had that number in my head. So that's 50 per week, 50 at each site, and then however many kids we have at those. So it can be up to, I don't remember the number off the top of my head throughout the summer, but it's a pretty big one. The full amount is $98,623. It's kind of what we've been approved to go up to.
Yeah.
Do you have something?
No, I was going to say the action on this would be requested, but the next 2 items, 40 and 41, tie into this.
Yes,
Great,
they do.
okay.
They do.
Excellent.
Okay, Why don't you go ahead and give us the lowdown on 40 and 41, and we'll take a vote on all three of them at one time.
Thank you,
then.
that's what I was
Yeah.
trying to say.
Great.
So for the next two, we actually needed a couple of agencies to actually get the food from. So what we worked out is an agreement with Kansas City Public Schools and also North Kansas City School District. So this next one is for Kansas City Public Schools, and they'll be servicing all of our community centers, our 8 community centers that are south of the river. So they'll be preparing those meals and also delivering those meals to each of our community centers. We place that order with them every day, and they come and drop those meals off. They guarantee that all the meals are what we call eligible for reimbursement, so they make sure that they follow all of DHS's guidelines as far as nutrition and all those kind of things. So this contract with them, we actually pay them $3.10 per lunch and then 80 cents per snack for a total cost of about $78,000. This contract with them is June 1st through July 31st, so throughout the length of our campus. And then the other one, the next one also mirrors that with North Kansas City School District, who will be also, they'll do Line Creek and Kansas City North community centers. They won't be delivering, which is why their rate's a little cheaper. We'll actually have to go out there and pick those up every day. Again, they'll follow all the guidelines. They've been, we've been working with them throughout this process, and they've been awesome so far. So.
Any further questions?
I commend you and your department on this. This is wonderful. This is a great service we're providing to the community, and I'm really proud to say that we're part of it. So thank you. Great work.
Thanks.
Okay, we have before us resolutions number 30439, 30440, and 30441. Can I hear a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Resolution number 30442, considering board approval for agreement with North Suburban Youth Football League.
Right, you're still up there, Roosevelt.
Keep standing, darling.
This is a long-term agreement. We've been working with North Suburban Youth Football for many, many years. Of course, now we're getting into the summer, which ultimately into the fall and football season, and so this is a new agreement for 2015.
Yes. So this is a facility use agreement with concessions at a number of our parks. That's Inglewood, Pleasant Valley, Waterwell, Frank Vadic Park, Hodge Park, and San Rafael. This is from June 1st through November 30th. They'll be paying $7 field per day for a total amount of $6,552. And they'll be doing football and clinics and cheerleading and all that kind of stuff there.
Any questions?
Nope.
Hearing none, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Roosevelt.
Sitting down.
All right. Resolution number 30443, considering board approval for amendment number 2 with custom tree care and for tree maintenance services.
Yeah, yes, Commissioners. We first entered into a contract with Custom Tree Care back in June of 2013 and did Amendment 1. Now this is Amendment number 2, and is indicated in the memo from Forrest. This is all about tree maintenance and pruning removals. Forrest's here to answer any questions you might have.
Okay. Any questions?
Glad we're doing this.
Okay. Do I hear a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Resolution number 30444, considering board approval for amendment number 3, True Green to deduct.
Right. This is.
Okay, let's hear about this
Yeah,
one.
we're going to save $126,000 from an EAB contract. Go ahead, Forrest.
Yeah, this would be the amendment number 3. The amendment number 1 and 2 provided for additional services after our original contract. We've, to date, we've treated about 9,700, 9,800 ash trees citywide. What we found, whenever we did the last amendment, we estimated the size of the trees and how much it would cost us. The average size of the tree that we ended up injecting was smaller. The bid prices are based upon the diameter of the tree. So we saved some money. Our trees were smaller than we thought on the average. So what we, this contract expires with them May 31st. We would like to extend it to August 31st to expend the approximately $85,000 that's left in it to inject the remainder of the trees that we have out there, which is approximately 1,000 total trees left, that will then have injected all of our trees on public property throughout the city over a 3-year period. Then we'll start all over again next year, but we're going to rebid the contract. So,
Do we have any indication of the success or result?
very good. My staff's completing some surveys of year one right now. We've surveyed most of it, but very, very few dead so far in year one treatment. So,
I've noticed the ones on the right-of-way in my subdivision seem to be thriving quite well. And
Yeah.
they seem to get off to a slow start, but they're doing great now.
yeah.
So,
So is this a 1-year injection or for 2 years?
3 years.
It's a 3-year injection?
Yeah.
Correct, 3 years, okay.
now, is the replacement of the trees that were taken out in part of this contract?
It's not part of this agreement. That's a totally separate agreement, actually with 2 different companies.
Okay.
So,
Great.
Is this a pretty easy process? Is it just go up and inject it and you're done, or does it take a little more than that?
it takes a little bit of time. There's actually a couple different injection methods, and one of the reasons why we want to rebid it is because they've kind of improved the technology a little bit since we bid this a few years ago, so it will be faster. Right now, the injection process uses an oil-based surfactant to bind the chemical into the tree. It's a little slower uptake. The new process that's been being used with a lot of success the past few years is a water-based. The tree will take it up a little faster, so it will take, I'm just estimating, but it'll take 8 minutes instead of 15 minutes to inject a tree, you know. So it'll be a little faster, a little bit, we're hoping a little cheaper. We'll know whenever we rebid, but it appears to be a little cheaper and a little bit more successful even.
Interesting.
That's what the indications are, so.
Well, I think you're to be commended and the department's to be commended for taking an aggressive stance, whereas most other places have kind of ignored the situation. I think it's going to pay dividends in the long run now that it's being successful. You're being congratulated.
Well, in 10 years, you'll be able to come to Kansas City to see the last ash tree in
There you
Missouri.
go.
Sole survivor, right?
Okay. Do I hear a motion for approval of resolution number 30444?
Move to approve.
Second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Forrest.
Resolution number 30445, board approval for change order number 1, the National Streetscape.
Yes, Commissioners, memo in your packet from Travis, as indicated, this is a change order with National Streetscape, and a variety of improvements here, all playground-related, at about a half a dozen different locations, and if you have any questions, Travis is here to answer those.
Okay, any questions? Hearing none, I hear a motion for approval of resolution number 30445.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, thank you. Director's report.
Yes, the first item is an update on grants, and Terrence just provided one of these to you, I think about a month or 6 weeks ago, and so this is an ongoing document. I know he added in the one about the item that Roosevelt just brought forward on the 98K, so if you have any questions, and I'm sure Terrence would be glad to answer them.
It's just great to see the numbers here. Appreciate the effort to do this.
When grants are denied, do we get an explanation?
Yes, sir, we do get an explanation. Well, not the reason it was denied, that we just weren't approved for the grant. And we did receive one of those since the last update for the 2015 Keep America Beautiful, the Dr. Pepper Recycling Grant.
X.
And we got that on April 22nd, the next week after I made the report.
Okay, great.
When do we hear about the Walmart grant out of school time programs? It'll be pretty quick here.
Yeah, we should hear from it soon.
And USA Swimming too.
They didn't give a date that we'd hear from them for that grant.
So those are still 3 pending then.
Okay,
Yes.
Great.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Appreciate the update.
Okay, major construction, Travis?
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Come, Travis.
We'll use that term, major construction, lightly, since we're talking about portable restroom facilities here. And
It's major importance.
we'll have major next time. We'll have a report on Garrison next meeting, so I'll give you an update on that project. But this project was wrapped up at the end of April, and this was the portable restroom shelter that was installed over in Van Brunt Park, and I have several photos there showing the sidewalk connection that connect to the existing sidewalk. You can see in that aerial photo what the sidewalk that had been put in there when the playground was put in, and the ADA improvements that were done along the curbs to allow people to utilize that existing sidewalk system. And what we did was tie into that and set the restroom facilities off on a pad on one side, and then you can see in, let's see, it's the third page, there's a new bench and receptacle that's in the upper left-hand corner of that page there. And in the last photograph, there will be a ADA portable accessible restroom that will be placed in that other stall, so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Heidi, marketing report.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Heidi.
Hey. We had a really busy last weekend. It was exceptionally good weekend. We had the Penn Valley Plein Air Art Fest, which began on Wednesday and then ran through Saturday morning, where we had about 50 artists painting outdoors all throughout the Penn Valley Park. Those winning or juried paintings are now hung in the Buttonwood Gallery and are there through June the 26th, and they're available for sale. And those go to support the Conservancy with Penn Valley Park. The 50% of the sales go to support that. So you can go in anytime and see those when the Buttonwood Gallery is open. Also on First Friday, which is June the 5th, they will be having an actual reception and kind of official exhibit opening. So beautiful, beautiful stuff. I've posted it all over our social media if you haven't seen the paintings or pictures of the winners, but it's just gorgeous. And of course, that starts our plein air painting season with Kansas City Parks. We have 4 events that are outdoor painting events this year, and we're really excited about supporting that. We also had a evening concert, Sunset in the Park concert, that Friday night. The weather held out for that. It was a beautiful night. And then we segued, of course, into Cycle in the City, which was Saturday afternoon on Ward Parkway, and it was fantastic.
I saw it on the TV news.
Yeah. Which one? 41 or the other one?
I think it was 40.
Okay. Yeah, they were good. I mean, they were balanced. So, but the event itself was very good. We had probably between 3,000 and 4,000 people out there during that 3-hour period. Tons of families, tons of kids. People went out of their way to come up to us at our booth and thank us for doing it, telling us what a great event it was, and to say they did appreciate having it there on Ward Parkway and to bring it back, which was interesting because we have said from the start we will be moving it around the city. So we hopefully will be able to do it again. This year it was funded by a grant. So we will be looking for sponsorship dollars in order to do that again. But very successful event, and thrilled with working with Public Works on that, and of course Kelly O'Neill and their event company helped put it together. So tonight is Tourism Night at the Royals game. You may or may not know that. It's a big night, and we are members of the Greater Kansas City Attractions Association, so we're going to be out there with a booth promoting Kansas City Parks and Recreation stuff. So it's a little chillier than I thought it might be tonight, but we'll be there. Tomorrow morning, speaking of chilly, we have the Employee Awards Breakfast. Speaking of chilly,
Awesome.
we sure can. I guess I shouldn't say chilly because I think it's going to be downright cold in the morning. But anyway, we'll be outdoors over there in the pavilion celebrating our employees' continued service to Kansas City Parks and Recreation. We have 25 employees that we will be acknowledging, the biggest of which is our director, who's now been with us for 40 years. So congratulations.
How have you guys put up with him that long?
We might need to ask his wife that. How many years have you been married?
On the record.
Check on my ring here.
Great.
Not 40.
Not 40? Okay. More than or less than?
Less.
Okay. Okay. Then we have, of course, it's Memorial Day weekend where our pools and water parks are opening. We have Club KC opening. On Friday, just as an FYI, will be the J.C. Nichols fountain will be dyed for the first time this fountain season. It will be orange for one day.
It's a new color.
And we did it last year for the first time. It's National Orange Popsicle Week, which is awareness for strokes in young people. And apparently the people who started the foundation, when the woman had the stroke, as she was recovering, she craved orange popsicles. So they developed a foundation called National Orange Popsicle Week. So the fountain looks really pretty, dyed orange, and so that will be what's going on down there around the fountain on Friday. And then, of course, we have the celebration at the station in Penn Valley Park. On Sunday, Rockfest starts moving in the following Tuesday, because it's the following Saturday on the 30th. And then as we're talking about Penn Valley Park, a couple of months ago, you guys approved an agreement with Chipotle for the Cultivate Festival, which is going to take place on July the 18th. Well, I just wanted to let you know they're going to move in one day earlier than that original agreement. So they'll be paying an additional fee to move in on, start setting up on the 13th instead of the 14th of July. And then also that weekend of Rockfest, we have the Microbrew Festival in partnership with the Tour of Kansas
Tour of
City.
Kansas City bike race.
Yes, going on Cliff Drive in the Kansas City Museum. And then Rose Day, so. And then it goes from there. Welcome to summer.
Will you keep it
It
all
says-
during this period?
Well, yeah. And in between that, I'm moving and all kinds of exciting stuff. But
Mercy.
on your calendar here, it says May 30th for Rose Day. It actually is May 31st. Sorry about that. No, that's my calendar. You probably have it right on that one.
Yeah, it's on the 31st. They have activities all the way from 1 to 5. But the program, I think, is at
Yeah, the Rose Show lasts from 1 to 5, and that's in the Garden Center. The actual activities and celebration in the Rose Garden, which is dancers and bagpipers and ice cream and lemonade, is at 3 o'clock.
Great.
And then, of course, they've completed their 14-year, $2 million renovation.
$2 million, 14 years.
14 years renovation of the garden, so we'll be celebrating that. Oh, yes, and then in front of you, I passed out the National Trails Day promotional piece from Mark. We're one of the many in the area who are participating on that day. We will be opening up officially the trail in the Little Blue Valley Park, which, as you know, is the former Speedway.
Mark being Mid-America Regional Council.
I know, I get everyone. You know, what's weird is when people tell me they saw Mark at a Mark meeting.
Yeah, there you go. Mark.
And this is a speedway that became a trail. Same asphalt.
Yeah.
Kind of spread different.
Going back to tourism, I was listening to radio earlier today, and the sportscasters were saying that they used to advertise Royals games that such and such a Barry Bonds was coming to play in Kansas City, so get your tickets. Now they're saying the Royals are playing in Kansas City, and everybody come and get your tickets. The Cardinals used to attend us at some of the interstate games. Not
this year.
anymore, so we can't take credit for it, but it's part of Kansas City pride, so I thought it was worth mentioning.
Yes.
Okay, let's see.
I'll see you guys in the morning.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Terrific, thanks.
Absolutely.
Okay, and
We have-
public hearing,
We have
Pat Clark?
Pat.
Pat?
Hey, Pat.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Pat.
There's going to be a part 2 to this because when I walked in the door, I had a couple of conversations, and it's one thing for me to tell you who I am, but it's another thing for you to see it. And, I'm here because at Oak Park at 43rd and Agnes, our park has been just left out for years. And then in the last 2-3 years, there's been some changes with a new ball diamond, and we've got some other things coming in. And the moment Terry walked in, we've been doing something different. So I thank Terry. I stood at the top of the hill as the baseball diamond was being completed and told William Warren I wanted to put a basketball court, a full court, back into Oak Park. When I was a kid, 16, 17 years old, they came in and took our full court out. It was kind of raggedy, so, they came in, took it out, and put in 3 goals. And I said, if I ever do anything in my life, I'm going to put a basketball court, a full court, back in Oak Park. So I stood at the top of the hill with William Warren. I said, I'd like to see a full court down at the bottom of the hill. On the back of an envelope, I drew it up. It got built exactly to the T like I drew it up. I'm here because the work that I do out here, the conversation that I've had with the neighborhood and with other people, that the court should be called Pat Clark Park. I've already named it. But for me to stand here and say it is one thing. In 2 weeks, I'm going to come back and let you see the difference. There's a program I started called Leaders. Leaders stand for loving everyone around, develops experience, respect, and social skills. In my community, those are some of the things that our kids are lacking. Mostly respect. They don't have any experience because a lot of them don't finish school, or, they don't have the type of parents that they need at home to get the experience. Social skills, it's a different day. The type of kids we were, we knew who our neighbors were. We knew who we were playing with. These days, these kids are being murdered by the same kids that are sitting at their grandma's table. Through this program, I've been able to reach out to kids, not just the kids, but the parents as well, because a lot of those kids, I tell them, I'm 51 years old. If you can't beat me in basketball, we're going to have to find, the NBA is not an option. We're going to have to find you a job. So those same kids come around the corner to my office, and I've been pretty successful finding these kids jobs. I talked to Roosevelt when I came in because I got some kids that came home from school. I mean, with things being like they are in Kansas City, I mean, I'm not saying nothing bad, but it's just truth. We're going to have one hell of a summer. The winter is overlapping into our summer. Things that happen in our winter is right there. But this basketball court and some of the other things that we're doing in Kansas City is going to be able to kind of, push back a little bit. Me and Terry, when we first talked, Terry said, so what is it you want to do? You want a partnership with? I want to see KCMO, Park and Rec, back where it used to be. We've fallen a little bit to the point to where our men's softball leagues, most of our teams are going to Johnson County and spending thousands of dollars a year to play softball because we can't provide these guys with places to play ball. Some of the places have been taken up because RBI takes over. And I can understand that. The kids come first. But what type of facility do we have for the adults? Some of the ball diamonds we have are just too small to hit a softball. And the way people act nowadays, if you hit my car, you got a problem. And that's what we're dealing with. That basketball court down there, and I'm saying this because it's the truth, is the safest place to play ball in Kansas City right now. Because I'm down there every day. It's across the street from my house. I supervise that court. This is my house. I'm daddy. When you walk in here, that trash out in the yard, pick it up. If you go down there right now, you won't see a lick of trash. None. Because I've got the kids in the community to buy into it. I come from the same neighborhood Ms. Linda came from. She's seen the way it looked before. The mayor came from the same neighborhood. He always talks about 44th and Montgomery. We can't do anything anywhere if we don't do it together. So again, like I said, I'm coming back in 2 weeks because I really want you guys to see what I'm talking about. It's important. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat, very much. Any comments, any questions? If not, I believe we need to go into closed session.
We
No,
have
calendar review, pardon
Yeah,
me,
we
I'm
can do
sorry.
the calendar real quick.
Yeah.
Heidi touched on several upcoming programs and activities, starting with tomorrow, and then, as you can see, on the 21st, Starlight Board meeting, followed by the Blue Star Awards, and then, of course, we're into the Memorial Weekend, and then taking a quick look at the month of June. We're back here on the 2nd for a board meeting, City of Fountains Foundation on the 3rd, the Memorial Board meeting on the 4th, Platte County Park Board on the 10th, and then, of course, you can see the workshop on the 16th with the board meeting, and the Starlight Board on the 18th. Thoughts on the 24th.
Excellent.
And the other thing that I believe we put in your packets is the upcoming PIAC schedule. It's that time of the year again. During the months of June and July, there's 12 in-district hearings, 2 in each of the 6 council districts. And then in the month of August, there's 4 in citywide hearings, kind of the traditional locations, out south, up north, Midtown, and then one in City Hall. So we'll have staff at all those hearings to listen primarily. Most of those come from neighborhood community groups asking for funding for PIAC projects, and of course, the board is welcome to attend any of those and get a sense of what folks are asking for.
Where are we on our recommendations?
Well, we have our 5-year plan
Okay.
that was put together by staff. Richard and Alan, of course, led that effort, and that's been adopted. It's been sent to the city manager and the budget office for their consideration. We will have a time to present that, probably in September. So we have our own hearing, I'll call it that way. We get to present all of our plans. And then these are pretty much listening sessions for us.
Okay.
And as you're probably aware, sometimes we work with organizations, like the Chamber is a good example. Northland Chamber, they have a PIAC list that they submit, and they'll present it to probably either the in-district or the citywide. And so we're there to, assist our partners. That's how we do that, so. Yes, that's it. And then we do have an executive session.
Excellent. Okay. I move that we move into closed session now to discuss legal matters pertinent to the Parks Board.
Okay.
Pursuant to RSMO Section 610.021, subsection 1.
Ellen?
Aye.
Second. I moved.
Aye. Okay, we're in closed session. Thank you all very much for coming.